So we're going to go over some of the basic pad holding. We'll start with some focus mitts, kind of explain how that works, and then we'll move to some tie pads. To start, regardless of what you're holding, it's like I'm holding a target in front of me. So if Elisa's facing me, obviously if she was hitting me in the face, I would be right here. So when I'm holding, I have to make sure I'm holding the pads there. So it's as if there's a target directly in front of me, just a little bit out. Now that changes depending on, when you're holding for low hooks and whatnot, but for the most part, that's the concept. So with the focus mitts, these are the tie style where we have the handles. It could be the slip-in. You want to be aiming for where it is in line with the hand. So in this case, it's right behind the striking logo. So that's where she would be hitting. And same thing here. Couldn't be easier. Okay. For hooks, remember, I want her to hit at my head height. In fact, this is for all punches. Regardless of how short or tall your training partner is, you hold at your head level, your body level, whatever you're holding for. Don't hold to them. And the reason for this is if someone is shorter in their weight class, they're going to be fighting people who are taller anyways. If you're taller, or if they're taller and you're a smaller pad holder, they're going to be fighting people who are shorter. So just hold at your own head level, and then as that person cycles through the entire class, then they're going to get with people of all different sizes. So rather than always holding at their exact head level, which would be here, I'm going to be holding at my head level. So keep that in mind. So for hooks, I want to make sure that she's throwing a good hook with their hand, elbow, and shoulder all at the same level. So in this case, it has to be at head height. Okay? If I'm holding down lower like this, it's a little bit awkward. It's going to drop her shoulder and her elbow down more. So keeping that in mind. The same thing with jabs and crosses. I wouldn't be holding down here. I want to make sure I'm holding at my head height. And then low hooks, as I mentioned, that's probably one of the exceptions where I'm going to step into that target area. So if it's right here, I step into that area, and then that's where her low hook is. Okay, and the same thing on this side, low hook. Okay, so straight punches, make sure that you're not jamming your partner up. I see that. That's probably one of the biggest things that people make a mistake of, is when she's throwing jab cross, they do this, and they jam up, and they're barely throwing jab crosses. You're even seeing professional coaches and pad holders doing that, where throw 5 jab crosses where they're here. Okay, and they're jamming them up. You don't want to do that. You want to hold, like I said, where that target is. So that's right here in front. And I want to get as close to my head as possible. I don't want to be holding out here to where she's doing jab crosses all around here. Look at that from this angle. If I'm holding like this, it makes no sense at all. So I want to be holding this in close. So one of the things that we do is we hold a jab cross on the same pad, and that makes her go straight forward. Okay, if she was to throw a jab cross right at my head, it would be straight forward. So same thing here. There's a jab cross and it's straight forward, and that's a way that you can combat that. Okay, and as opposed to jab and cross. And then again, as I get further out, it's more awkward. If I hold here, it's super awkward. Okay, same thing with the hooks. I don't want to jam her up. So as she's throwing her hook, I want to hold right in line with her head. Okay, I don't want to hold off to here. And then the same thing, I don't want to hold the whole way over here because it just doesn't make sense. So with the target area, it's very obvious. Make sure you're holding as if they were hitting that target area in front, just like a person. Okay, so that's focus mitts. So tie pads, we're going to follow that same target area concept. It's right behind the hand. All right. One of the biggest mistakes I see people make with tie pads is I hold at my head height, but then the puncher punches down here, or punches in the middle maybe. Okay. And as you can see, that's not at their head level anymore. It's lower. So she wants to be hitting right behind or right in front of my hand rather. So my hand is right behind the target area. And again, in this case, it's right behind the striking logo. Okay. And again, I'm not jamming her up. The one way I like to think about how we're holding and giving resistance for punches is we're giving a little high five. It's just a slight high five. So when she punches, I just barely tap back. Again, not jamming up, not holding back, or not pulling back, just a slight high five. Okay, so jab cross, couldn't be easier. Okay, another thing is you want to be careful that you're not allowing your puncher to hyperextend their arm. At least go slow, but if I hold for a cross and I do this, she's gonna end up trying to reach for it and she locks out that elbow and she can hurt her arm. So make sure, number one, when you're holding, especially if you're holding for someone new, or if you're hitting with a new pad holder, go slow to start. Get used to where they're holding that jab cross. And then as she starts feeling my resistance, the more experienced I am, the quicker she's gonna pick this up, okay? But again, for the pads, for the Thai pads, always make sure that you're hitting right behind that hand. Another thing you don't wanna do as a pad holder is you don't wanna hold by your shoulders like this. Again, it doesn't matter how short your partner is, hold at your head height. Make sure you're not holding like this. If she tries to throw a jab cross here, it's really awkward. You really can't push into it. So make sure you're holding, again, at your head level. A little bit harder with the Thai pads to hold close, but I don't want to have them too far out. So another thing we do, and you'll be able to see it from this angle, is that we cross over. So if she throws a jab on this pad and she happens to miss, it rolls off that way, okay? If she throws a jab on this pad and it happens to miss, it hits you in the face. So that's a very fundamental way that you can avoid that, is by crossing over. As I mentioned with the jab cross, we could throw that on the same pad. But whenever I'm throwing single jabs, single crosses, I wouldn't want to hold the jab right here. Boom, okay, because that's going to happen. All right, so there you go. There's the majority of the punches. Uppercuts as well. Make sure you're holding at head height. Remember, for a good uppercut, she's going to bend her knees first. She's going to put both hands back, and then she's going to drive up for the uppercut. Always crossing over, okay? Same thing on this side. For shovel hooks, I can hold it a few different ways. I can hold like a low hook down here. That's a shovel hook. I could also hold here. That would be a higher shovel hook. Either is fine. So there's low, there's high, okay? If our jab crosses are, let's just say, a standard length away, okay? So she throws jab cross. Hooks, obviously, are closer, okay? When I'm holding for hooks, I like to step in a little bit. If it's in between a combo, I'm gonna hold a little longer. So jab cross, hook cross. I'm just gonna hold that a little bit longer for her, so she doesn't have to move. She could move, but for a fundamental holding, you don't have to. Overhand, so if this is jab cross, overhand is behind the jab cross. So if she throws a jab overhand, look at where the jab is, but look at how far that overhand reaches. Okay, jab overhand. And that's different than an inverted hook. An inverted hook, I would be at the same angle, but she's throwing it at hook range and she's hitting with her knuckles. Okay, that's different, totally different. Okay, so there's your shovel hooks, there's your uppercuts, there's your overhands. Okay, jabs, crosses, and hooks, all of your punches. For kicks, for foot jabs, you're gonna hold one facing down, one over top. I wanna hold this tight to my body. I don't wanna have any space. I also don't wanna put both. It's tempting to put both facing this way. And then what that leads to, especially brand new people, is they wanna hold the pads like this. And it's super awkward. And they wanna hold like this. Then the problem is, I have to switch them back to this to hold for anything else. So just hold them with a 5-finger grip. I don't want my thumbs inside. I want my thumbs outside of this, not inside like this. I want them outside. And then for a foot jab, I just turn this one out and then I put this one right over top. So it kind of makes an L. All right, this one's right on top of the other. So for our foot jabs, if I'm standing too close, she can step back to a good distance, just a step and slide. Do a rear foot jab to start. And then same thing with a lead. Your lead is going to be a little bit longer, okay? So when you're learning it, try not to adjust, okay? Well, step and slide to the range and then keep your rear foot where it is. So I have my lead foot jab, I keep that rear foot jab or rear foot where it is. So if I'm too far away, maybe she steps and slides just a little bit forward, she keeps that rear foot where it is, and then she does her lead foot jab. So those are foot jabs. Round kick and switch kick. When you're holding for low kicks, and we do this for people who are just learning how to kick that might not have the hip flexibility, we'll hold low. Because you can still get a great kick, you can learn the concept of the kick and the technical parts of the kick by hitting low. So I'm going to hold the same way, but I'm going to turn them out. Again, a lot of people want to hold like this and turn their hands around. Keep your hands where they are and just turn them out. Okay? I want to hold across the front of my thigh. That'll promote a good fundamental round kick. It's not going to be a snap kick, it's going to be a round kick. So I'm holding in front. Okay? And that's round kick. And same thing, if I'm too far out, she's just going to step and slide in a little bit, then she's going to kick. Okay? So that's our low round kick. Our high round kick, we're just turning it up like this. Okay? So that's our mid-level round kick. Okay? And I'm holding in front. It's very tempting to hold to the side like this. And what that promotes is a long kick. Okay? There may be reasons you want to do it, but not while you're learning. You want to kick into the front. You want to have a full rotation with your supporting leg. And to do that, you're going to hold the pads in front. So if I'm facing my kicker, I'm facing them. My pads are slightly off to the side, but they're still in front of her. I'm not holding over here. Okay? See how she would be kicking off to the side and it becomes more of a snap kick. Okay? So here, the kick comes across the front. Here, the kick comes across the front. As we go higher, it changes because nobody, maybe some people, but not many people have the flexibility to get their shin up at head height. So because of that, I'm going to hold with one. I could hold with both. This is fine, but I'm not going to hold in front anymore. I'm going to hold on the side. The other reason that this is okay is because whenever I'm kicking the leg, it's a hard tool, soft target. Hard tool to the body, soft target. Well, now if I'm kicking to the head, it's more of her neck that I'm going to be hitting, and it really isn't very stable. Because of this, I don't have to hit with my shin. I can hit with my ankle and my foot because I'm not worried about breaking it. If I kick with my foot and she shin up blocks, this then turns into hard defensive target, and then my offensive weapon is soft because it's all the little bones in the foot. So that said, when she starts kicking higher, she can kick more with her ankle and her foot. So same thing, if I'm jamming her up or I'm too far out, she's going to adjust. I can hold off to the side. That's going to be a high round kick. Or I can hold like this, which simulates the head a little bit better. And in that case, as you saw, she already wanted to go around. So she could kick the head off of the neck and then spin around. Okay. So there's round kick. There's switch kick for you. Round kick and foot jab. Switch kick is the exact same. I'm just holding off to this side. Again, I don't want to hold like this. I don't want to be not facing her. I want to be facing my partner, just a slight angle. So there's switch kick. Okay, so here's round kick. Here's switch kick. Here's round kick. Here's switch kick. Okay, just barely turning them. It's tempting to hold just kind of like this. But when you're learning the kick, when they're learning the kick, make sure you're holding them together. Okay. Another thing with the pads, the striking fight gear pads, you can relax if you want. The striking fight gear pads have Velcro. Some have Velcro. Some have buckles. You want these loose. You don't want to have it so tight that you have to take them off every time. I should be able to just slip my hand out. I don't have very big forearms. There's guys with massive forearms. Mine aren't very big, and I still don't have to adjust them. I leave them where they are. If it's buckles, don't unbuckle the tie pads and then rebuckle them to hold on. What is holding the tie pads on your arm is your grip. Okay? And another thing too is I'm gonna flex my wrist whenever it's inside of the straps that holds that tight. Okay? Again, I don't want them so tight that it's keeping everything straight and I'm holding this back. I want to flex the wrist. So those are tie pads for you. Again, biggest things I want you to remember are making sure you're hitting the target area as a pad holder, making sure you're not jamming your partner up, making sure you're not holding too far away or too far out, and making sure that your pads are facing your partner. Jab, cross, lead high hook, rear high hook, lead low hook, rear low hook, lead uppercut, rear uppercut, lead shovel hook, rear shovel hook, lead overhand, rear overhand, lead inverted hook, rear inverted hook, jab cross, cross hook cross, jab cross hook cross, hooks 3, hooks 4, hooks 5, hooks 6. Parry, rear parry, elbow deflection, rear elbow deflection, high shield, high shield, body shield, body shield, jab overhand, jab cross overhand, jab overhand, shovel hook cross, jab cross overhand, jab cross overhand, shovel hook, hook cross. Good, now put it all together. Jab, cross, double jab, cross, pop and weave, jab cross, 5, jab cross, 10 jab crosses. Rear foot jab, lead foot jab, round kick, switch kick, low round kick, low switch kick, high round kick, high switch kick, round kick, spin around, switch kick, spin around, 4 counts, round kick, cross switch kick, switch kick, cross hook, round kick, round kick, hook, cross, round kick, switch kick, cross hook, switch kick.